Okay, so today we're taking a look at CACANi, and this is an animation product that was recently re-released. I believe this is version, um, let's see here, version 2.0. And these guys have been off the market for a while. They've had some issues with reports of excessive bugs and things of that nature. I don't remember ever actually using this product in the past, but I was happy to see some of their new marketing that came out. And downloaded the trial. And in this trial, basically, I am using basically the same features that anybody would be getting when they download the trial themselves. I believe the only limitation to this is that you can't export, if I read the thing correctly, that you can't export your animations, and you're limited to like a certain aspect ratio or screen dimension or something like that. I think it's like 640 by 640, and there might be a watermark involved, but aside from that, according to the marketing, it says that the trial is not going to expire. So that's actually kind of cool because it allows you to test out the product without necessarily being rushed to buy it if you're going to run out of time. Okay, so first impressions. Right off the bat, I can see some kind of little video overlay or something here where you have the indication of a traditional animation peg bar. I'm not sure if that's just for looks or if there's some kind of functionality where you can actually scan your hand-drawn animation and use those peg bars as a way to align your drawings. A lot of the traditional animation software will do that. It'll use the peg bar holes as a way to align your artwork. We have safe zone indicators here and a solid line, which probably indicates the camera's field of view. And on the upper left hand corner, I can see that there is a real-time frame per second indicator. Right now it's running at 59 frames per second. It also tells me my memory usage, so that's kind of cool. Depending on how complex your artwork is, it'll kind of let you know how much memory you're using. I'm not too familiar with anything else in here so far. I can see a tools panel of some kind with a pencil, or I guess it's a pen. Single curve tool, Bezier tool, ellipse tool, polygon, eraser, smart eraser, stroke eraser, feature points, I'm not sure what that is, a bone tool, that might be interesting to play with, segment tool, free segment tool, cleanup, stroke width tool, so that's kind of like the pump tool in the tab, I'm sure. Cross layer paint tool, single layer paint tool, gradient tool, color picker. So this would be your fill tools, and so you get a pen tool, which is, I guess this would be like a pencil, and your fill tools will be up here. So if you're familiar with Flash, I guess these would be your tools. I also see like some kind of tabs where you can differentiate between raster drawing and layer drawing. I don't know, that might be like for vectorizing and cleanup work. I kind of am digging the timeline so far. I'm glad they don't have like some kind of crazy X sheet view. The timeline looks linear left to right, which is the way it should be for digital animation. Because it conforms itself to a traditional like a monitor. You want it to go from left to right because you don't want it to use up half your screen like in Toon Boom, where you literally need two monitors, where you have to have the timeline or the X sheet on a separate monitor just so you can see what's going on, and it goes from top to bottom. It's really ridiculous. So this is kind of cool. Each layer, I suppose, has like a three thing. I'm assuming, of course, I haven't really tried it out yet. They call it a cell bank. That's interesting. So I guess with traditional terms that would be more accurate. So we're looking at cell 1. What's this here? Some kind of eye tool. I guess we can turn it on and off. And I'm not sure what these things are. That might be like an onion skin type of tool. Okay, that's a lock tool. What are those? I don't know. I just clicked on something. I hope I didn't just screw something up. Maybe I can Control Z. I don't know what I did. Let me see if I can restore my project by going to a new project here. Over here we have a normal stroke type, red separation line, green separation, blue, cyan, pink. I'm not sure what a separation line is, but in my mind, I'm assuming that this is like a temporary pencil stroke, like you would do to like draw where your shadows and highlights would be on a drawing, I think. Let's see here. What are these? Show color separation line, show gaps, show invisible, show stroke widths, canvas display options, field chart. I'm always kind of skeptical about programs that have a field chart, because most programs that I've tried don't actually have these as a consistent measuring system. And the only way this would work is if it stays at 100% all the time. That way you can actually use this as a measuring system between your hand drawn stuff on paper and what's going on the screen. Most digital programs will actually zoom in and out of this thing, and it's just mostly for display purposes. So I'm not sure how it'll work and whether it'll work or not. But I'm interested to try it out later. Let's see. I'm just kind of laying down some line work here. I'm using a Huion canvas digital display. Basically, this is a monitor that allows you to just draw directly onto it. It's relatively inexpensive, about $400, about 1/4 the cost of an equivalent Cintiq tablet. So right off the bat, I mean, drawing feels fairly natural. Let's try the selection tool. Let's see what happens when I select stuff. Delete. Okay, so it deleted this section around it. So this tells me that the line work being drawn is probably raster based, similar to how you would draw inside of Photoshop. I'm going to press Control plus and Control minus to zoom in and out, and that doesn't seem to work. So zooming in and out doesn't seem to work with Control plus, Control minus, but it does work when you hold down the Control key and you roll your mouse window, so your mouse wheel. So that seems to allow you to zoom in and out. Pressing down the mouse key, the middle mouse button, doesn't do anything. Normally, most programs should allow you to pan the drawing, so you can do that. So let's see if we can figure out how to do this. Holding down the Control key, maybe? Nope. Shift, maybe? Shift click, Shift right click. Let's try the left and mouse button at the left and right mouse button at the same time. Okay, so I can't necessarily figure out how to pan my screen around, so we're gonna have to read the manual to get that going. Holding down the space bar is a traditional keyboard shortcut, so that seems to work. So now when I do this with the left mouse button while holding down the space bar, does seem to work. Okay, so that kind of gets us a little bit closer. So holding down the Control key and rolling the mouse wheel in and out does allow me to zoom in. Holding down the space key while dragging my left mouse button allows me to kind of pan around my work area. Let's see what happens when I do Control A. Okay, everything becomes selected, clear or delete. Okay, I wish that I could do Control minus and Control plus to zoom in and out, because it feels like it should be a little bit more natural. But might just have to. It's not entirely a deal breaker just yet. Let's turn on this field chart. Let's zoom in. You know what? This might be a real field chart. If it is, that's pretty awesome, because I can have, you know, my drawings that I'm drawing outside of the program using pencil and paper, and use a real field chart. Let's say it's going to be in here somewhere, and I can make it align to the actual field chart in the software. So it does seem to be a real functional field chart. That is awesome. And now this is going to be kind of nitpicky. I kind of wish these were traditional holes, you know, like for round pegs, because from a independent animator standpoint, traditional Acme peg bars are cheap, but the hole punchers are kind of are controlled by a monopoly. That means that they can charge you $300 for a hole puncher, which I'm not necessarily willing to do. But I guess using the center hole, you might still be able to use as a way to align your drawings. We'll have to explore this a little bit further down the road. Let's see here. So by just drawing, I'm able to lay down a drawing fairly easily, and it does feel really nice. It's very natural, and that's because I am drawing with raster-based drawings. So raster drawings are probably the best type of drawings when it comes to laying down rough animation. That's pretty cool. It feels great. It's actually fun, okay? The drawing process just for laying down artwork is actually nice. Let's see here. Unconnected strokes. I don't know what this is. End with. I wonder if this kind of... has anything to do with the brush. I don't think it manipulates the brush. This is probably for vector line work. Let's put this back on 25. I think that's where it was when we started. I don't want to mess anything up just yet. Eraser tool. Ooh, what is this? Oh, yeah, it is an eraser. Oh, but it's stroke, so I guess stroke is related to vector strokes. So I'm gonna leave that alone. What is this? That's probably for vector stuff. It's not that bad. The selection tool is kind of wacky. Let's see what happens when I hold down the shift key. Nothing. There's no box selection that I can see, but this is kind of fun. Okay. Control D deselects. That's awesome. I can still use my Control D shortcut. What are these things here? Tools. So that allows you to turn on and off different panels. Okay. Okay, so far so good. I'm not entirely sure how I'm supposed to be drawing, because if this represents my 100% screen size, then basically this feels a little flimsy as far as the line work is concerned. But you know, it's raster based and it's for rough drafting purposes, so I can quickly lay down artwork. Perfect. So yeah, I'm already starting to get like a feel for it in terms of my use of shortcut keys and stuff. So spacebar and drag moves the canvas around. I'll call it a canvas for now. control and mouse wheel rolling in and out, zooms in and out. I'm going to switch back to this pencil or pen tool as they call it. Let's turn on this anti-alias, see if there's any difference in terms of how it draws. I don't notice a significant difference in the line work. Yeah, there's a little bit of a anti-alias happening there. So notice how with the anti-alias turned off, I can draw a line and it gives me pixel perfect line work. Okay, this is anti-alias. That means that there's no aliasing being done on the edges. It's not trying to smoothen things out. If I turn it on, it should give me a good attempt at smoothing out those edges. So that's the difference right there. And I'm not sure which method I kind of like better at this time. So let's see if we can figure out where the colors are. So if I want to change the color of this pencil tool, grabbing these panels and dragging them up and down doesn't do anything. Because they are laid out in a vertical fashion, one on top of the other, you would expect that you could just grab them up and down so that you can roll through these panels, but they do have a scroll bar, so I guess that's okay. I don't see, this would be the color panel. Let's try this red. Why is this turned on? The selection tool is enabled, but the icon for it was that thing. Okay, so I'm running into my first glitch here that I don't like. I have to scroll all the way up to select my pencil. Then I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna try to pick a color. Okay, so that was fairly smooth. Okay, so the outline turned red. It has a center that's gray. Does that mean if I do a full thing, the inside is gonna be gray? I don't know. Nope. I'm not sure why that is. I guess that's a visual just to let you know that this is an outline color, so it looks like an outline around something. Okay, might be something to get used to. So this would be your fill color, I suppose. What are these? I have no idea what this is. Save swatches, load swatches, clear swatches. So save swatch. No, didn't do anything. Load. Okay, I have no idea. Onion skin. See, this is getting annoying really quick, okay? I don't like the fact that by default I have my tools up here and one of the most obvious things that I would need way down there. So that's kind of stupid. But it might be a solution to it. I don't know. Let me see if I can detach this. Yes, I can detach it. That's perfect. That's great. So now I can click my pen and I can go down here and I guess I can change my color. All right, so it's coming together, you know, so far for what it is. I'm not hating it. It's actually kind of nice. Control A selects everything, clear. Control D deselects. I'm ready to draw again. My tools panel is over here on the side. Beautiful. Okay, I'm also noticing that there's like a little swatch here. So if I click here, what happens? Can I double click? Yes, I can double click. And okay, so where's my fill now? Okay, I'm ready to start filling my drawing. So I've managed to draw something with a color. It's very easy. I love that raster drawing. Okay, this is why I like Photoshop for drawing and illustration purposes, because it just feels more natural. And of course, Photoshop does not necessarily do this without a lot of your input. You have to go in and create custom brushes and stuff. This thing is just drawing. This is actually freaking nice. I like it. I love it. I love it. So far I am happy. Control D, deselect. I'm learning to use it. Zoom in, zoom out, navigate my work area. Let's draw another happy face. Let's select maybe a dark outline. Let's do something like this. And now let's figure out how can we paint this, if we need to paint this. Because I mean, honestly, I don't see myself actually doing final line work or drawings using the raster feature. I'm assuming that this layer here, or this somewhere in here, what the hell did I do? Okay, I don't know. I'm assuming that this is gonna allow me to ink it into a vector shape. And that's gonna be, or that should be, your final drawing style stuff. So let's see here. Smooth. Ooh, smoothing tools. Is that having an effect? I don't know. I can't tell. Okay, so no smoothing. It's slower. It draws slower, so it forces you to draw smoother lines. That's beautiful. I like that. Let me see here. This reminds me of that pulled string feature in Lazy Nezumi, or the new Flash. The new Animate has a pull string feature as well, and it allows you to draw smoother lines by just kind of calculating ahead of your curves. So yeah, let's see here. Let's clear it out. Let's draw another happy face. Control D to deselect. That's beautiful. I love the fact that they kept that keyboard shortcut consistent with most Windows programs. Okay, D. Now let's figure out something here, because this is gonna get annoying fast. Pen tool. It doesn't give me, it doesn't tell me what the shortcut key should be. Let's try just pressing P on the keyboard. See what happens. I have no idea what that is. Holding it down turns something on. I have no idea. It looks like some kind of gradient thing. It's gonna require some more exploring. Okay. I wanna keep exploring this pen tool. I wish they would call it pencil tool, because I'm using it to draw. So it would feel a little bit better if the name was more consistent with what it is, which is more like a pencil tool. Technically it's more of a brush tool because of the varied line weight, but still, a pen usually indicates ink final line work. That is nice. Look at that curve. I like this, y'all. This is really nice. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm having fun doing it. That is really nice. It feels very natural and organic. And so far, this is all just the raster-based stuff. I mean, honestly, I don't see myself drawing and producing stuff just with raster-based. So I'm hoping, like, the vector features, if it has them, that it's gonna have some kind of like like a really good transition into that. What are these? Can I click on these independently? Cell 1. I guess that's not like a real layer. That's kind of more of a container. And the container has your raster and layer and a layer. What happens here if I select this? Just that. Just draw with the pencil tool. Oh, look at that. It's vector line work. Oh shit. You know what this is? Oh my god. Oh, nice. You know what this is? Okay. One of the things that I like about Flash is that it has a recognition feature for your vector line. So when you're drawing, it recognizes the intersections. Now, I don't think this is going to do it because, you know, that might be more of a proprietary thing. See? I mean, it doesn't recognize that intersection. If it did, that would be freaking awesome. But, and I don't know what this this number is. I'm going to have to look in at the manual. But, check this out. It recognizes the line when I'm getting ready to lay down my line so that when I draw, it can draw from that and it attaches it. Holy shit, that is awesome. So let's draw a quick leaf. And it seems like it's pressure sensitive too. So when I do this, boom, holy shit. That is nice. I don't even need to do the raster based drawing with something like this. Probably should. Oh my goodness. Okay. So working with these lines, 2, 2, 1. I don't know what these numbers mean. I have a feeling that the number is an indicator to let you know which line you've selected. This is my first line that I laid down. So it's telling me this is line number 1. That's line number 2. So if I draw more, or maybe even go crazy and just kind of do this number here. So if I were to, that's 5, 4, 5. So it gives you an indicator as to the lines have their own unique names. Now that is freaking awesome, okay? From a technical perspective, that is going to prove very useful. I mean, how the hell do you get away with not having something like this? This is a feature that I did not know I wanted, but now that I see it, I want it. I'm happy it's there. I'm gonna use the hell out of it. It literally tells you which line it is that you're about to select or have selected. It tells you which direction the line is going. Jesus, that is freaking innovative. You know, these are like little simple things so far, but it's literally telling you which direction you drew this curve. That is going to be very useful because when you're drawing, that the direction of the curve is very important. I'm really loving this. I'm really digging it. Okay, so let's see what else we can look at. Okay, somehow I lost connectivity. There it is. Okay, now for whatever reason, I feel like I keep going back to the selection tool. Now, that might not be necessarily a bad thing, but I would like to find an easy way to go back to the pen tool whenever I want. And having that name as the pen tool, I guess that's kind of growing in on me. It's more of a versatile pen and pencil tool at the same time. because of what it does. I mean, it's the same tool for both vector and raster, and it just depends on which layer you're drawing. That is freaking amazing, guys. I think I may have found something that I actually like. Let's see here. Edit. There's got to be some kind of shortcuts. There it is, shortcuts guide. There you go, see? And when I pulled that up on my second monitor, I got this thing here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is show onion skins. I'm sure this is going to come useful. This is actually really nice that they have they have created a little mapping graphic, because, well, I don't want to jinx myself, but I would like to print this out and stick it to my wall here. Let me see. Control P. Fuck. What the hell? Clicking on it makes it go away. That's not very nice. Every time I click it, it opens up on my second monitor. It wants to open up on my primary monitor, not on my tablet monitor. Okay, so now I'm scared to click on this. Let's do Control P. No. Control P. No, I can't print this out. Well, that sucks. Okay, guys. To the developers of CACANi, enable printing for something like this. Okay, this is very. You went the extra step to create a nice, beautiful graphic with the mappings of the keyboard shortcuts, and I can't print it out easily. Obviously, a workaround is I'm going to take a screen capture of my screen and then print that out physically, so I can stick it to my wall, so I can, you know, till I get used to this stuff. So drawing tool, cleanup tool, says to hold. What's the drawing tool? Are they referring to the pencil tool? Because that's basically what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a way to switch to my pen whenever I draw, or it switches to something else. Merge strokes, cling mode. Dude, I wonder if I click somewhere else. No, I can't draw. This fucking sucks. Okay, this is not cool, man. This is such a cool tool here, but I can't have it open in my second monitor and draw and refer to it as I draw. That is inconvenient as hell. All right. But I'm glad that the things that I'm finding an issue with are not things that are necessarily gonna be affecting my workflow, I suppose. It's just a little inconvenience, because while I'm learning to use the software, I would like to keep this open so that I can refer to it. So I am going to snipe this and save it. Okay, so feature request, guys. Make this a little bit more useful so that I can literally be able to have this open in a second monitor while I'm drawing. All right, so I have a screenshot up now on my second monitor that I can refer to now as I'm drawing. So here I'm drawing something, blah, blah, blah. Switch to the arrow tool or the selection tool. And let's see here. Drawing tool is the A key. Let's see what happens when I click it. It takes me to my pencil tool, my pen tool. They have it labeled as the drawing tool. That's fine. I forgive you. Okay. V should give me the selection tool if it's consistent with other software. So I can't use the V key to switch to my selection tool. Let's see what the screenshot says. Segment, color picker, self layer, paint tool. Okay, these are going to be useful later on. I want to be able to just draw right now. Okay, what do I do to just draw and move around efficiently between drawing and cleanup and stuff? Because that's the basic thing that everybody just kind of needs to get a handle of first before you start animating, cleaning up, and doing all sorts of fancy animation work. Eraser tool is the E. Okay. Okay, so I'm drawing. What the hell happened here? Okay, so I'm drawing. Switch to the eraser tool. Okay, I have to hold down the eraser, the E key, while I'm hovering my mouse over it, and it does kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a weird way of drawing and erasing. Okay, all right, well, what is this erase from ends? Oh, okay, it doesn't go anymore. So I can only oh, okay, well, that could be useful. There should be a shortcut for this, because that's not something that you want to go the extra step to. It's kind of a, yeah, it's kind of wonky, but it works. You just gotta kind of keep wiggling it around, just kind of pushing it, but you're erasing it from the end. So if I want to do this, this gets around this whole flash thing. With flash, flash, you have the intersection tool, okay? So that's one of the reasons why I love drawing with flash, because when you draw, it recognizes the intersection. So I can go in here, select this, and hit delete, and it'll only delete this segment. So that's a very efficient way of drawing. This doesn't have that, and that's fine. It's a completely separate software. I understand. So as a solution, I suppose erasing from the end would allow me fuck, come on, do it to clean up that line so that it's no longer there, cleaned up to the segment. That is a pain in the ass, y'all, but it works. I don't like that. I like it and I don't like it. I like it because it can be done. I don't like it because it's not very natural. It doesn't just go in. If I could just push it in, that would be nice. Okay. Let's go back to this raster drawing and hit E, and that does the erasing. So when I do E, there's a smoothing thing. Let's put it on 25. I have a feeling 25 is going to be a good compromise for everything. Can I double click here and just manually? Yes, I can. Holy shit. So that allows me to adjust my smoothing, holding down the E key. Okay, I guess you don't need that erase from the end thing, because you can just erase, period, you know. So, but then again, you know, drawing with the raster based tools is really, or it should really be, for laying down rough drawings. Okay, what the hell happened? This thing is freezing. It's gonna crash. I can feel it. That's not good. All I did was click on that raster layer. That's no bueno. Come on. And Control Shift Escape. See if I can push the memory a little bit. No. Let's get rid of some programs. Let's get rid of Google Chrome. Let's get rid of the sniping tool. What else can we get rid of? Fuck. All right, so I have no idea what happened. Let's just kill it and start over. So there we go. Let's try it again. All right, startup was fairly quick. So what was I doing? I was going to draw on my raster layer my tools panel, put it to the side here, or maybe here somewhere so I can easily access my brushes and stuff. I'm going to just kind of lay out some. I'm going to draw a cherry, something nice and simple. See, and that's the beauty of being able to draw with raster images, because you could just, you know, draw your ass off and just don't worry about the line work. You know, it'll come together. All right. I wish this thing could be like a separate color, but that's fine. I wonder if I can change the color after the fact. No, I don't know. Okay, Control D. You know what? Let's use like a little blue outline color, so it'll be reminiscent of a traditional animation pencil. Oh, you know what? What are these? I mean, these are drawing tools. I'm sure they have a different purpose when it comes to the vector, because they're called separation lines. So I'm sure these are like pencils that are used to fill in gaps and make little changes and stuff. But with the raster based stuff, it seems like I should be able to just use them as a quick way of laying down pencil. So I'm gonna use the cyan, because that's basically like a traditional animation pencil. It's non-photocopy paper. It doesn't photocopy well, so you can use this to rough draft your artwork. And then of course when you scan it or you make a photocopy, this color doesn't actually get copied, so only whatever ink you put on top of it is what is copied. Okay, so that's a quick little cherry. I think as close as I can get. Screw it. Switch back to pencil. Let's go to our layer 1, which is a vector layer, and let's lay down okay, that's weird. Why is it red? Why is it blue? Okay. Let's switch the colors. Clicking on it once doesn't do anything. You literally have to click on it twice. And size 2:1. What does that mean? So let's try 4:2. It's a little bit better, easier to see. Let's zoom in. Let's try this now. Oh, that's crazy looking. Okay, I think I had this down. Let's try drawing with a size 8. And maybe 4. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. Where's the smoothing? Okay, it opened up in my second monitor. In my second monitor, there's like a little flyout window here. Let's see here. Let's go with medium smooth. That's not cool that it just kind of pops over there. Okay. Let's try, fuck, it goes to the second monitor. Normal smooth. Okay, let's switch back to medium smooth. So, I mean, I'm glad that it has this accurate smooth, basically no smoothing. So it allows me to be a little bit more, lay it down a little bit closer to how I'm drawing. Of course, that does require you to lay down your lines a lot faster. So let's go with medium smooth, and let's try to come over here. It detects that edge. I wonder if I can click on this line and hit something that'll smoothen it out further. That would be nice. What's this? Convert to normal stroke, convert to red stroke, green, pink stroke, yellow stroke. I don't want to convert anything yet. Opacity, size, group select. What is this? Lasso selection, box selection, pass selection. There's little flyouts that are coming up, but they're not showing up on this monitor. For whatever reason, they're showing up on the second monitor. That's kind of, I guess that could be considered a bug. Am I able to like turn these down a little bit? No. Can I move this above? Let's try right clicking. Duplicate, remove, start cell, new video. See, it would be nice because I mean the vector layer should be above the raster layer because the vectors it should be used for cleanup work, you know. So that should be up there. What is this? That doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. What is this? Okay. All right. Playback range, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I don't seem to be able to have something that'll allow me to smoothen this out even further. It would be nice. And there probably is. I mean, it's a vector thing, so I should be able to just click on something and smoothen it out more. I don't know what that is. I just moved something and I have no idea what it was. If I overlay my mouse over it, it doesn't give me any kind of tooltip. So I'm gonna put it back to how it was. What is this dot? Edit drawing mode parameters. I have no idea. What is this? Normal drawing mode, grid drawing mode, parallel, radial. I have no idea. I'm not gonna mess with it. Auto direction. Invisible stroke type, closed type. Okay. I don't think I'll ever be using that. That might be useful for closing gaps. What is this? Hidden stroke mode. Oh, I guess that one would be it. That's nice because it still gives you a visual representation. I'm assuming that when you export this out, this line is going to be invisible. So that's nice. So I mean that's another thing too. You know, I've been doing animation for about 20 years. I kind of know what to expect from animation software. So I'm having an easy time just kind of adapting to this. I can see what they're trying to do and where they're going with it. Okay, so All right, well, I can't find the smoothing tool. Maybe if I increase the smoothing options, I might be able to just draw it smoother from the start. Let's try that. So it's definitely giving me a smoother line by increasing that. And I drew it with an invisible line. Let's see. Oh, fuck. Okay, that's inconvenient. So I drew this line, and I obviously drew it with the line style that I didn't want. But, I mean, it's a vector line, so I should be able to just convert it, right? It's not letting me do that. Let's see, convert to normal stroke. What does that do? No, it didn't do nothing. Opacity, size. That sucks. Okay, so I'm gonna have to draw that again. I have no idea, but from a usability standpoint, this should allow me to just convert that line into a regular line, okay? If that can't be done, then obviously that sucks. But if it can, then it's obviously something that I'm gonna run into when I actually sit down to read the manual. So let's draw this again. Boom. I don't like the fact that I'm drawing underneath my raster layer. This is cleanup artwork. It should be above. But there's probably a way to do it. I like this. Yes, I can go in here and just adjust the points and they snap to whatever line I want it to. Let's see if we can turn this off and just kind of clean it up. Make sure that these are just kind of... This is nice. Am I able to just delete unnecessary points? No. See, like that point right there, that doesn't need to be there. I should be able to just click on it and delete it. Like that one doesn't need to be there. Nope, but I can't delete it. I like the fact that it just doesn't feel like vectory. It's you're not being forced to draw with those Bezier curves. I'm gonna use this eraser tool and just kind of chop that line up, and I'm gonna zoom in. And I am going to make use of, let's see, delete. I'm gonna make use of this feature here to snap it back into place if it'll let me. Oh, I gotta use, what's it called? The stroke editor. I'm gonna snap it to that and snap that there. Okay, now I did see something earlier like that looked like a pump tool that I mentioned. This, let's see if it is what I think it is. Yes. Perfect. Oh, that's beautiful. I can interactively do this. You know, the only thing that would like really kind of take a piss in my cereal is if I'm not able to export it into formats that I can use with other programs like Flash or Crazy Talk Animator. That would really suck because this is obviously a superior drawing tool. So even if it came down to just using it for drawing, I would like to be able to draw in here and export my drawings to another program where I can continue doing my work. So I guess we'll find out later. For now, I'm just going to continue exploring. Let's turn this off. Damn, I gotta get used to that. I mean, I'm not hating it. I just wish the selection was a little bit more natural. There's gotta be a way to erase these points. That's too many points. What is this? Bezier tool, curve tool. Okay. Yeah, that's a typical Bezier crap. I don't like it. I hate that stuff. Curve tool. Okay, that might be a little bit useful. Guess you gotta double click to close your line. Ellipse, polygon, smart eraser. That deletes the entire line. Stroke eraser. That does the same thing pretty much. Feature points. What is this? I have no idea what that is. I'll have to read up on it. Segment tool. I'm assuming is to cut out a segment, but it's not doing it. Requires more experimentation. Free segment tool. No idea. Cleanup. Oh shit, what just happened? I definitely try to simplify my drawing by getting rid of those extra points. It's not what I would expect it to do, but it might prove useful later on. Cross layer paint tool, single layer paint tool, gradient. Okay, let's see if we can. The drawing tools are actually fun. I'm really enjoying drawing with these tools. They don't feel like you're having to work around with like technical stuff. Let's see here. There's got to be some kind of smoothing tool available. I mean, if there isn't, then they need to add it because it's really, really needed. Okay, so we're getting ready to hit the 1 hour mark. I think this is going to be something that's going to take place across multiple videos. So far, I'm really enjoying. I'm able to draw stuff. I'm able to see how my workflow can be approached. It's very traditional. I can see how these type of lines can be easily animated and manipulated. Maybe because I should be able to just grab this line. What's this circle? I don't know what. Okay, that's the registration point. Move it here, and I'm assuming that's going to allow me to manipulate the curve if I can get that curve. Depth. What is that? Okay, that's weird. Hide stroke, show strokes, clear boundary. Okay, that's your rotation. I guess it does the trick. But where's the pull? Where's the bend tool? Is there something that I can use to bend this line and contort it? I have that. There we go. So this could be used for the actual morphing of the lines when you're animating. But how do you add lines where lines don't exist? So I have this one line here. Oh, there's 4. I guess it's always gonna have a couple lines. You don't always have. You're never gonna have just the 2 lines. So at least that's good. I could seriously see myself working with this tool. You know what? I'm gonna buy this program because I don't know if the trial version is going to allow me to export things. Well, you know what? Let's try it. Well, you know what? Before I do that, let's see how easy it is to paint. Single layer paint tool. I guess this would be my color. No, that's the onion skin. That's for something else, I'm sure. Color is way up there. It should be right here on the tools panel. Why is it not on the tools panel? That's kind of dumb. Oh, nice. So it does recognize the connections and paints. It's not just letting me, it's not just treating those as independent vector lines and leaving me out in the cold. I'm actually able to paint the drawing that I did in a way that feels natural. I drew a shape, I paint a shape. That is fucking awesome. Something popped up when I did that. All right. Okay. Now some of these tools could be easily improved, man. I mean, I could see a very, very versatile workflow out of this if the tools could be optimized a little bit. These colors, they need to be part of the toolbar because this is your pencil. Boom, change the color of your pencil. This is your brush. Boom, change the color of your brush. Why is it way in the fuck up there? That's frustrating. It's nothing that you can't get used to, but fuck, it does not need to be up there. It needs to be more efficient. How do these, let's try this. I have a feeling that's what this is. Now what the fuck was that? Is there an eyedropper tool? Yes, I can do that. Did it do it? I don't know. What does it do? I don't know. Eyedropper. Color picker, whatever. Did it grab the color? Why the fuck is this color thing way out there? Let's paint with it. Paint, paint, damn it, paint! It won't paint. Okay, let's try it again. I'm screwing up here. Select it. Yes, the eyedropper tool works. I guess if we double click here, we can make this a little bit darker to create a cell shade. Fuck! I need to get used to this. Eyedropper, bring it in, switch to this, make it darker. Still with this thing selected. Delete. And I have no idea what I just did. It's not what I thought it was. There's got to be an easy way to do cell shading. How do you do cell shading? It's an animation program. Can't have an animation program without giving an easy way to paint your artwork. Select, delete the. Let's try this hidden stroke mode. Maybe that's going to be the workaround. And we'll paint. And we'll make it dark. And we will switch to the bucket. And it doesn't work. Let's try and make it more extreme. It doesn't work. So that's not what that's for. Or maybe I'm just not closing these gaps properly. Let's try closing these gaps. Paint. No. No, 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 no. Okay, Control Z. Let's get rid of this. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. Come on. Let's figure it out. Invisible stroke type, hidden stroke, invisible stroke, closed stroke. What is this? Oh yeah, that's that thing. Invisible stroke type. Let's try that. Let's use some kind of blue color so we can tell it apart. Oh my god, that is just weird. But can I paint that section? No, it won't paint. What the hell? Why won't it paint? Yes, it does. How did I do that? I don't know. Okay, where's the rendering? Let's see, file. Is there like a preview? Canvas, zoom in. Oh, zoom in is equal and minus. Okay, so it's the plus and minus keys, but without the control. That's good to know. Rotate, flip canvas, reset zoom, canvas display, blah, blah, blah. Where's the preview button so I can see what my movie looks like? Reset zoom, region, playback, quick flip, frames, blah, blah, blah. Paste from navigator, file, canvas, import, recent, export video, export to Adobe After Effects. I wonder what that is. That sounds interesting. I mean, for all I know, it's probably just you know, a series of PNGs in a sequence. But that's cool that it has like a built-in link in there, so that might prove useful. So far in this drawing, I do have what would constitute as some kind of cell shading, and but it does have this orange outline, and I'm assuming that when I publish this, that outline is not going to be visible. That's just an assumption, or that's how it needs to be. Maybe I'm just approaching the tool from a completely noob standpoint. And once I read the manual, I'll get a better understanding of how to do this. So I'm going to draw again with this invisible stroke type. And I'm going to come in here. Why does it remove the paint? I don't want it to do that. I just want it to draw the stroke. Huh. Okay, we'll use our color picker thingy. And for now, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a more efficient way of doing this, but for now, this is what I can figure. Not bad. Let's get this brown color. Let's make it darker. Oh shit. See, if there's nothing, if there's no paint there, it shouldn't grab that color. That's kind of a flaw there. It needs to be revisited. That's something that they need to kind of adapt to. So we'll go in here. Fuck. See, I did it again. We'll select it. Switch. Now I'll manually switch to this thing. Maybe there's like a temporary eyedropper function. I gotta look at that keyboard shortcut thing so that that eyedropper is only available on a temporary basis, and as soon as I'm done with it, it doesn't keep it selected. That would be an ideal way of working with this thing. Let's pull up this image. Let's see here. Eyedropper, or what do they call it? They call it a color picker. Let's look for the color picker option. Stroke picker, point picker. Would it be this? W? Let's see. No, that's a stroke. It just switched to that tool right there, stroke editor. Let's see. Zoom out, zoom in, rotate, rotate. Cell bank layer, blah blah blah. Color picker tool, that is number 3. Okay, so beautiful. Okay, I don't have to use this piece of crap. So if I have my paint bucket selected and I hold down the 3, as long as I'm holding it down, I can interactively click on a color and it'll bring it in here. So with this cherry, I'll click there and I'll double click that, adjust the color, actually make it lighter, and boom, I have a highlight. I don't like the fact that I can see these outlines. I mean, I guess it's something that I could probably learn to live with as long as they're not published with my final line work. But this is something that's going to require further investigation. Okay, so let's take a look at some export options. Export image. Yep, those lines are gone, so they're temporary visual things. Canvas view. What formats can we export to? PNG and JPEG. That sucks. There's no vector export from what I can tell. Start at. This is cool because you can start at a different frame. Camera view, canvas view, multi-frame. Background, trim offsets, all frames, selected frames, stroke magnification. What is that? So I can interactively change my stroke size upon export. That could be useful. Change all stroke colors. Let me try something. If I select this and I'll go to number 3 and select that. it didn't, it applied it to my fill, but not to my outline. Let's see here. There it is. I'll make that darker. Can I paint this outline? How do I change the color of the outline? So that's one way of doing it. Okay. Can I select all of these and change the color of the outline to some kind of green, dark? Yeah, I can. File, export image. Okay, that's it's good. Show peg hole, show camera, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here's where I'm having a bit of a problem with, okay? My only export options is raster-based export, PNG or JPEG. I'm assuming that it doesn't matter too much because if I'm exporting to something like 4K, I could just change it and it'll still retain the quality. But for working with external programs, I would much rather maintain my vector quality for this type of stuff. So I guess that's going to be one of my petitions. All right, so here's my impressions of this program. I like it. I think it has great potential, actually. Let's take a look at my image. Nasty watermark, but okay. It's a trial version, so what do you expect, right? I'm gonna buy this program because, quite frankly, based on what I have experienced so far, I think it's very useful. I can draw in a very natural way that's consistent with artwork drawing. You know, it doesn't feel technical. I feel like I'm able to draw cartoons and I can draw organic shapes, and with a little bit of practice I can probably get the hang of it. So this could be very useful. I am going to buy this program. I feel like I am going to be able to use it, and the main reason why I want to buy it right now is because I do want to explore the export options further without that watermark in the way, and I want to be able to try out the exported stuff. I want to be able to try out the exported stuff in a way that I can try to integrate it with other programs. So for video, looks like we have AVI, WMV, MPEG-4, and GIF. That's fine. But SWF vector would be perfect, would be mwah, beautiful. Maybe it's something to request. Let's see here. Single frame image. It didn't launch. There it is. It exported with the white background. So it's not a transparent AVI. Also, I don't see export options for something with transparency like QuickTime. QuickTime would give me transparency. AVI would give me transparency, but I don't know, maybe it's in here somewhere. Background, lines, render color separation. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I would like to be able to export with transparent backgrounds just because, you know, for compositing your drawings in a bigger software like After Effects, you kind of would want that transparent background, even if it's like a big AVI or, you know, some QuickTime file, MOV format. Okay, so far I'm really happy with this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. This was a completely new product for me. I've never played with it before. Everything you saw was a first impression. You know, some things could definitely be improved upon. Some things I may have actually not used correctly, and there might be more efficient ways of working with them. But I try to approach these things from a standpoint of somebody who's never really touched this thing before, and you can see my reaction when I run into the issues the first time around. But you know, overall, yeah, I'm ready to give them my money, and I'm gonna do that. And in the next videos, you're gonna be seeing me working with this program using the full version. So if you like the content that I'm producing, be sure to subscribe to it. I'm definitely going to be doing more videos on CACANi. I think it's a very useful program. If you want to be notified whenever I put out a new video or whenever I go live, be sure to hit that bell icon. Other than that, guys, any questions, just send them my way.